Good morning. This is Dr. J. Niranjan Gaud, Assistant Professor of Mathematics, Dr. B.R. Government Degree College, Jarchala. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about Riemann integration, particularly Darboux theorem and conditions of integrability and some applications of the Riemann integral. First, see the outline of this lecture. So, I am going to explain Darboux theorem first. Second, conditions of integrability. Third, integrability of the sum and difference of integrable functions. And finally, integrability of product and quotient of the integrable functions. I start with Darboux theorem. See the statement of Darboux theorem. If f is bounded function on AB, closed interval AB, then to every epsilon greater than 0, there corresponds delta greater than 0 such that UPF is less than integral a to b bar f dx plus epsilon. LPF is greater than integral a bar to b f dx minus epsilon for any partition P of AB with a norm u less than delta. See here, integral a to b bar f dx means it is upper Riemann integral, which is equal to infimum of all upper sums. Infimum of all upper sums. And a bar to b f dx is lower Riemann integral, is nothing but supremum of all LPFs for any partition P of AB. See, here there exists a epsilon number for every epsilon greater than 0. There exists a delta such that UPF is less than integral a to b bar f dx plus epsilon, and LPF is greater than integral a bar to b f dx minus epsilon. See the proof. As f is bounded, given that f is bounded, so by definition of bounded, there exists a number k, particularly positive number k, such that mod fx is less than or equal to k for all x belongs to AB. Again, since the upper integral is infimum of the set of upper sums, upper integral is infimum of set of upper sums. So, therefore, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a partition P1 which is x0, x1 and so on xp of AB such that u P1f less than integral a to b bar f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. So, see here, upper Riemann integral is infimum of the set of upper sums. So, UPF is greater than this GLB because this is a greatest lower bound, so that. So, UP1F is less than integral a to b bar f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. The partition P1 has P minus 1 points besides x0 and xp. In this P1, how many points here? Here, totally there are P plus 1 points. x0, xp, in between x0, xp, we have P minus 1 points. Okay. So, P1, the partition P1 has P minus 1 points besides x0 and xp. Let delta be a positive number such that 2k into P minus 1, delta is equal to epsilon by 2. So, choose delta in such a way that 2k into P minus 1 into delta is equal to epsilon by 2. So, let P be any partition with norm UP is less than delta. So, P take another partition such that norm P is less than delta. Further, so I take another partition P star, which is refinement of P and P1. P star be the refinement of P and P1, so that P star is equal to P union P1. I combining P1 and P1 and partition P, we get refinement of these two partitions, which is denoted as P star. So, P star is refinement of P and P1. So we may take P star is equal to P union P1. As P star refinement of P having at most P minus 1 points, then P. So P star contains at most P1, P minus 1 points, then P. Therefore, we get UPF minus 2K into P minus 1 delta is less than UP star F. So P star is refinement, then UP minus UP comma F minus 2K into P minus 1 delta is less than UP star F. But we know that refinement of partition UP star F is less than or equal to UP1F. UP star F is less than or equal to UP1F. So UP1F is less than integral A to B bar F dx plus 1 by epsilon. Earlier we noted that from this UP1F is less than integral A to B bar F dx plus epsilon by 2. I write this. Now combine these two. What we get? UPF is less than integral A to B bar F dx plus 1 by epsilon. You bring this side. We know 2K into P minus 1 delta is less than epsilon by 2, right? Earlier we noted this. We choose a delta such that 2K into P minus 1 delta is equal to epsilon by 2. So I write this as epsilon by 2. If you bring this side, what we get? It is plus epsilon by 2. Sorry, here is a plus, I hope is this plus. So what we get? UPF is less than integral A to B bar F dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon plus 1 by 2 epsilon, that is epsilon. Therefore, for any partition P with norm BP less than delta, so similarly we can prove the other part of this Darboux theorem. The same way, we can prove LPF is greater than A bar to B F dx minus epsilon for any partition P of AB with an norm UP less than delta. This is about Darboux theorem. This is very useful statement. We will be going to use this theorem for proving another internal condition of integrability. So conditions of integrability. First, we have started earlier that a bounded function is said to be integrable when upper and lower integrals are equal. So first we know that the upper integral is equal to lower integral. Then we say that the given function is integrable, right? So now we formulate another condition, necessary condition for integrability of function in two forms. So see this first form. A necessary and sufficient condition for the integrability of a bounded function f is that to every epsilon greater than 0, there corresponds a delta greater than 0 such that for every partition P of AB with norm UP less than delta, UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. Simply, we can say that a function f is integrable if and only if UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon, where for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a delta with norm UP less than delta. Okay. So there is no need to find upper integral and lower integral. Just simply we check the condition UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon, then we can say that f is integrable. If f is integrable, UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. So we prove two parts. First condition is necessary. Part 1. The bounded function f is integrable. Let the function is integrable. We have to show that UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. For that, since f is integrable, we know that integral A to B bar f dx is equal to A bar to B f dx is equal to A to B f dx. This is Riemann integral definition. Here upper integral and lower integral both are equal. So we can say that A to B f dx. Now let epsilon be any positive number. By Darboux theorem, earlier we seen this. By Darboux theorem, there exists a delta such that for every partition P with norm UP less than delta, UPF is less than A to B bar integral A to B bar f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon, right? This is equal to A to B bar here. since f is integrable, I write integral a to b bar f dx is equal to integral a to b f dx. From this, I write this as f a to b f dx plus 1 by epsilon. The same way, LPF is greater than a bar to b f dx minus 1 by 2 epsilon. So since f is integrable, so a bar to b f dx is also a to b f dx. Okay, you take this as equation 1 and equation 2. Now, from equation 2, I multiply this inequality with negative sign. What we get? Minus LPF is less than minus integral a to b f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. See, from 1 and 3, combining 1 and 3, UPS minus LPF is less than. This is a to b f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. Here, third is minus a to b f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. So, minus a to b f dx plus a to b f dx gets cancelled. We get 1 by 2 epsilon plus 1 by 2 epsilon is equal to epsilon. Therefore, from combining 1 and 3, we get UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. If we take f is integrable, then we have to prove, we proved UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. Now take the condition sufficient, part 2. Let epsilon be any positive integer, positive number for any partition P with norm UP less than delta. We are given that UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. We have to prove f is integrable. For that, we have to show integral a bar to b f dx is equal to integral a to b bar f dx. Nothing but upper integrable is equal to lower Riemann integral, right? So we know that for any partition P, LPF is less than or equal to a bar to b f dx. Why? Because integral a bar to b f dx is lower integral. Lower integral is supremum of all the lower sums. So any lower sum should be less than a bar to b f dx. So LPF is less than or equal to a bar to b f dx, which is less than or equal to upper integral a to b bar f dx, and upper integral is less than or equal to UPF. Why? Because upper integral is infimum of all upper sums. So any upper sum should be greater than upper integral. So we have an inequality LPF less than or equal to a bar to b f dx less than or equal to a to b bar f dx less than or equal to UPF. Now observe these two inequalities. I take first inequality, this one, and another one is this one. Okay. From this, what we get? Integral a to b bar f dx is less than or equal to UPF. So UPF, and from this, LPF is less than or equal to integral a bar to b f dx. I multiply this inequality by negative sign. Minus LPF is greater or equal to integral a to b bar f dx. Okay. So combine these two. A bar integral a to b bar f dx minus integral a bar to b f dx less than or equal to UPF minus LPF, which is less than epsilon for this given statement. Since epsilon is a arbitrary positive number, therefore we see that a non-negative number is less than any positive number. Hence, it must be equal to 0. So a to b bar f dx minus a bar to b f dx is equal to 0. This implies integral a to b bar f dx, right, is equal to a bar to b f dx. Okay. This is the, so that f is integrable. This is the proof. Okay. Second form, a bounded function f is integrable on AB if and only if for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a partition P of AB such that UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Okay. Here in last statement, first theorem, we define a condition with respect to norm here. Okay. Now in this statement, bounded function f is integrable on AB if and only if for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a partition, just a partition P of AB such that UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. So for every epsilon greater than 0 there exists a partition such that UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Then we can say that f is integrable. If f is integrable, then there exists a partition such that UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. This is very useful condition and very easy to prove some important some problems further. So see the proof. First, the condition is necessary. Okay, I first take, suppose f is a function integrable. F is an integrable function. So that we know that lower integral and upper integral both are equal, and which is equal to a to b f of dx. So I write this: integral a to b bar f dx is equal to integral a bar to b f dx is equal to a to b f dx. Okay. Let epsilon be a positive number. Since upper and lower integrals are infimum and supremum respectively of upper and lower sums. Upper integral is infimum of upper sums. Lower integral is supremum of lower sums. So by Darboux theorem there exists a P1 P2 such that UP1F less than a to b bar f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. Since a to b bar f dx is nothing but a to b f dx, so I write this as integral a to b f dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. So LP to f is greater than integral a bar to b f dx plus epsilon by 2. So f is integrable, so that lower integral is equal to integral a to b f dx. I write this and I treat this as 1 and 2 equations. Now take P the common refinement of P1 and P2. So take P is equal to P1 union P2, right? We know that P is a refinement, so that P UPF is less than or equal to UP1F. UP1F is less than or equal to a to b f dx plus 1 by 2, which is less than LP2F. LP2F is less than or equal to LPF plus epsilon. From condition, this second condition, LPF is greater than a to b f dx minus epsilon by 2, so that a to b f dx plus 1 by 2 is epsilon, so epsilon by 2 less than LP2F is less than LPF plus epsilon. So there exists a partition P such that UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. See this, take this one, UPF less than or equal to LPF plus epsilon, bring LPF this side, so we get UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. Observe this inequality. First P is a refinement, so UPF is less than UP1F. Okay. By first condition, UP1F is less than a to b f dx plus epsilon by 2. Here epsilon by 2. Okay. See from this, integral a to b f dx, if you bring this side, LP to f plus epsilon 1 by 2 epsilon. So I write this as LP to f plus 1 by 2 epsilon plus 1 by 2 epsilon. So LP to f plus epsilon, you can write this as LP to f plus epsilon. Okay. We know that LP to f is less than LPF. So LPF plus epsilon. Therefore, by this inequality, UPF less than or equal to LPF plus epsilon, from this you write UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. Therefore, there exists a partition P such that UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. If you take f is integrable, then we get there is a partition P such that UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Condition is sufficient. Let epsilon be a positive integer. Let P be a partition of AB for which UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Okay. So for any partition we know that LPF is less than or equal to integral a to a bar to b f dx. How? Since a bar to b f dx is a lower Riemann integral. Lower Riemann integral is nothing but supremum of all lower sums. So any lower sum should be less than lower Riemann integral. So that for any LPF, for any partition P, LPF is less than or equal to integral a bar to b f dx, less than or equal to a to b bar f dx, which is less than or equal to UPF. Now take a bar a b bar f dx minus a bar b f dx. So UPF minus LPF, right? UPF minus LPF less than epsilon. Therefore, the non-negative number being then every positive number epsilon must be 0. So this is non-negative, less than positive number, so that it should be 0. So a to b bar f dx minus a bar to b f dx is equal to 0. That implies lower integral is equal to upper integral. Therefore, f is integrable. From these statements, we deduct a relation. We deduct a statement. A bounded function f is integrable over ab if and only if there is a number I lying between LPF and UPF such that for any epsilon greater than 0, there exists a partition P of AB such that mod UPF minus L I less than epsilon and I minus LPF less than epsilon. Now, alright, now we discuss about integrability of sum and difference of integrable function. Integrability of sum and difference of integrable functions. See, if f1 and f2 are two bounded integrable functions, there are two bounded integrable functions on AB, then f is equal to sum of the given functions f1 plus f2 is also integrable on AB, and a to b f1 dx plus a to b f2 dx is equal to integral a to b f dx. So the sum of two integral function is also integrable. From this we can prove that we have to prove the sum of two integral functions is also integrable. So f1 f2 are two bounded functions, right? So f is equal to f1 plus f2. Clearly f is bounded function. Sum of bounded function is also bounded function. So I take a partition P which is equal to x0, x1, x2, so on, xn is equal to b. I take starting point x0 is equal to a, ending point x0 is equal to b, and the partition P is equal to a, comma x1, comma x2, so on, b. Any partition of AB, and I take capital Mi dash, small mi dash, capital Mi double dash, small mi double dash, and capital Mi, small mi. These are all bounds of f1, f2 and f respectively in subintervals delta xi. Okay. See, f1 bounds are capital Mi dash and lower bound is Mi dash. f2 of bounds are capital Mi dash, double dash, small mi double dash, and bounds of f are capital Mi and small mi. So observe this. Mi dash, Mi double dash, the sum of these two is less than or equal to lower bound of f. So less than or equal to small mi. Obviously small mi is less than or equal to capital Mi. So capital Mi is less than or equal to capital Mi dash plus capital Mi double dash. Now you take this as equation 1, inequality 1. I multiply inequality by delta xi, delta length of subinterval. So, and add all inequalities for I is equal to 1 to n. We get LP1F, right? LP1F plus LP2F. See, here m1 dash into delta xi, summation of I is equal to 1 to n mi dash into delta xi. There is nothing but lower sum of the function f1. So LPF1 plus now summation of I is equal to 1 to n m double dash I into delta xi. This is lower sum of second function f2. I write this as LP2 PF2. This is lower sum of function f is that equal to LPF. less than or equal to. This is UPF less than or equal to. The same way, UPF1 plus UP2, UPF2. Let epsilon be a positive integer, positive number, sorry. Since f1 and f2 are integrable, therefore, we can choose a delta greater than 0 such that for any partition P with norm UP less than delta, what we get? UPF1 minus LPF1 less than epsilon by 2, right? By first form of integrability condition, for every partition there is a delta such that UPF1 minus LPF1 is less than epsilon by 2, since f1 is integral function. The same way, since f2 is integral function, the register partition P with the norm P is less than delta. So UPF2 minus LPF2 is less than epsilon by 2. So combine these two. Thus for any partition P of the norm UP less than delta, we have UPF minus LPF is less than or equal to. See, UPF from this condition, UPF is less than or equal to UPF1 plus UPF2. LPF1 plus LPF2 is less than or equal to LPF. Nothing but LPF is greater or equal to this one. I multiply this equal to by minus. We get minus LPF is less than or equal to minus LPF1 minus LPF2. So I apply same this inequality here. UPF minus LPF less than or equal to. In the place of UPF, I write UPF1 plus UPF2 minus LPF1 minus LPF2 less than, this is nothing but epsilon by 2, right? This is also epsilon by 2, which is equal to epsilon. Therefore, for any partition P, we get UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Therefore, F is integrable. To prove second part, since f1 and f2 are integrable and epsilon is any positive number, therefore by Darboux theorem, there exists a delta greater than 0 such that for all partitions P whose norm UP less than delta, we have UPF1 is less than A to B F1 dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. In Darboux theorem, we have A to B bar F1 dx. But since F is integrable, upper integral is equal to lower integral A to B F dx. So directly I write A to B F1 dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. And UPF2 is less than or equal to A to B F2 dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon. And also A to B F dx is less than or equal to UPF is less than or equal to UPF1 plus UPF2 less than or equal to A to B F1 dx plus A to B F2 dx plus 1 by 2 epsilon plus 1 by 2 epsilon. Apply these two. Since alpha as epsilon is arbitrary, we can conclude that integral A to B F dx is less than or equal to integral A to B F1 dx plus integral A to B F2 dx, right? Apply this inequality by minus f. Proceedings with minus f1 and minus f2. In the place of f1 f2, we get integral A to B minus f dx less than or equal to integral A to B minus f1 dx plus integral A to B minus f2 dx, right? So minus minus get cancelled. The inequality becomes A to B f dx greater or equal to integral A to B f1 dx plus A to B f2 dx. This implies A to B f dx is equal to A to B f1 dx plus integral A to B f2 dx. So if f1 and f2 are two bounded integrable functions, then the difference is also integrable, and A to B f dx is equal to A to B f1 dx minus A to B f2 dx. Here, if f1 and f2 are two bounded functions on AB, it's also integrable on AC and C, B, where C is a point of AB. Conversely, if f is bounded and integrable on A, C and closed interval C, B, then it is also integrable on AB. Also, in either case, A to B f dx is equal to A to C f dx plus C to B f dx. If a function, bounded function f is integrable on AB, then it is integrable on subintervals of AB. They are A to C, C to B. A function f is integrable on a to c, c to b, then it is integrable on whole interval a to b. In both cases, integral a to b f dx is equal to integral a to c f dx plus integral c to b f dx. See the proof. Since f is belongs to RAB, nothing but f is Riemann integrable. Therefore, for epsilon greater than 0, there exists a partition P such that UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Second form of integrable condition. So, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a partition P such that UPF minus LPF is less than epsilon. Let the P star be the refinement of P such that P star is equal to P union C. I take a partition, another partition P star, which is refinement of P. Nothing but the refinement of P star, P is a P star, contains exactly 1 point, more than 1 point of 1 point more than P, right? So, U P star, therefore LPF is less than or equal to LP star F. By refinement conditions, LPF is less than or equal to LP star F. Obviously, LP star F is less than or equal to UP star F. UP star F is less than or equal to UPF. Therefore, UP star F minus LP star F is less than or equal to UPF minus LPF, which is less than epsilon. Let P1, P2 denote the sets of points of P star between AC, C, B respectively. Nothing but P1 is a partition of AC, P2 is a partition of CB. Okay. Therefore, P star is equal to P1 union P2. Also, UP star F is equal to UP1F plus UP2F, and LP star F is equal to LP1F plus LP2F. Therefore, UP1F minus LP1F plus UP2 minus LP2F is equal to UP star F minus LP star F, which is less than epsilon. Since each bracket on the left is non-negative, right? This is always non-negative. Therefore, it follows that for any partition P1, P2, there exists epsilon such that UP1F minus LP1F is less than epsilon by 2. UP2F minus LP2F is less than epsilon by 2. This implies F is integrable on AC and F is integrable on CB. Let F belongs to R over AC and CB. So, F is integrable on AC and F is integrable on CB. We have to prove that F is integrable on AB. So, for epsilon greater than 0, we can find a partitions P1, P2 of AC, A, C and C, B such that UP1F minus LP1F is less than epsilon by 2 and UP2F minus LP2F, P2F is less than epsilon by 2. I take a refinement of P1, P2, which is P star. P star is equal to P1 union P2. Clearly, P star is a partition of AB. Therefore, UP star F minus LP star F is equal to UP1F plus UP2F minus LP1F minus LP2F, which is less than epsilon. So, we get UP star F minus LP star F is less than epsilon. Therefore, for every epsilon greater than 0, there exists a partition P such that UP star F minus LP star F is less than epsilon. Therefore, F is integrable on AB. In both conditions, we have to prove integral a to b f dx is equal to integral a to c f1 dx plus integral a to b f dx, right? We know that for any functions s and t, if w is equal to s plus t, then infimum of w is greater or equal to infimum s plus infimum t, right? Now, any partition P1, P2 of A, C and C, B respectively, if P star is equal to P1 union P2, then UP star F is equal to UP1F plus UP2F. Now, taking infimum of these partitions, right? Infimum of UP star F. Think about integral a to b f dx, right? Upper integral of the function f on AB. UP1F is in the infimum of UP1F is greater or equal to a to c bar f dx plus c to b bar f dx. Since f is integrable on AC and CB and AB, then a to b f dx is greater or equal to a to c f dx plus c to b f dx. Proceeding this with minus f, we get integral a to b f dx is less than or equal to a to c f dx plus c to b f dx. Therefore, a to b f dx is equal to a to c f dx plus c to b f dx. Integrability of product and quotient of the integrable functions, right? The oscillation, before that we put a useful lemma. The oscillation of bound function of interval AB is the supremum of the set mod fx1 minus fx2 such that f1 x1 x2 belongs to AB of numbers. Okay. See the proof. Let m, capital M and small m be the bounds of f on AB. Now m less than or equal to fx1 comma fx2 less than or equal to m. So bounds f, the bounds of f are capital M and small m. So any function values is in between m comma capital M. So mod fx1 minus fx2 is less than or equal to m minus m. Clearly, m minus m is a bound, upper bound of the set mod fx1 minus fx2, right? So for epsilon greater than 0, for any given number, since m is a supremum of f, there exists a number while x naught belongs to m such that fx dash is greater than m minus epsilon by 2. Similarly, there is x double dash belongs to AB such that f double dash less than small m plus x epsilon by 2. From 1 and 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3, there exists x1 and x dash and x double dash such that f of x dash minus f x double dash less greater m minus capital M minus small m minus epsilon. Therefore, what do we get? Mod f dash fx dash minus f x double dash is greater than m minus m minus epsilon. From 1 and 4, that m minus m is upper bound and no number less than m minus m can be upper bound of the set. So m minus m is supremum of mod fx1 minus fx2 such that x1 comma x2 belongs to AB.